My name is Mike, and I work at YouTube. Specifically, I work on one of our bigger engineering groups that focuses on YouTube creators. Like all you, how many of you upload videos and do all that? Awesome. So most of you. So what I do as a TPM, a technical program manager, is I lead project management and infrastructure for this team. So everything from like uploads to annotations and captions and financial reporting and all that, and everything in between. Although I'm mostly here at Minecon as a gamer. So I came 2 years ago when I was working at Google as a partner manager with YouTube partners. But I've since moved on to engineering, but I wanted to come to Minecon anyway, and Lydia said, well, could you do a talk again? I'm like, yeah, sure. And some other coworkers too have been helping out. Rodrigo over here, so he was here yesterday, and now he's over here watching me. I wanted to talk to you guys today mostly about the different sort of tools that we offer to creators on YouTube. I personally have been, a gamer like my entire life, and I don't upload too much gaming content these days, but it's definitely my passion for gaming that brought me to YouTube and everything. When after I graduated college, I remember do you guys remember Super Mario Galaxy? Yeah, raise a hand, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't get that last star, and I'm the kind of guy who needs to get every single star in a Mario game. And I thought, I'm never going to be able to do this. And then I thought, I'll go on YouTube, see how other people are beating this level. And lo and behold, found a video, learned how to do it. And then I thought, YouTube's based in the Bay Area. I should probably apply for a job there or something. So still very much a gamer to this day. And I'll leave plenty of time for Q&A, either together as a group or you guys can come track me down after this. But here's sort of like a general overview. I wanted to cover everything in the creator lifecycle. So from the point that you're uploading a video onto YouTube, what you should be doing, up until you have tons of videos and you kind of want to manage all your hundreds or thousands of videos easier at scale, and how to track performance for those videos, and also talk a bit about feature access. So we get a lot of questions about that, and that's one of the things that my team works on. All right, this looks kind of messy, but don't be alarmed. So I want to talk about optimizing upload. So I remember, how many of you have been to VidCon? No, nobody. All right. We've got a few people. Oh yeah, I usually go to VidCon every year, and I always try to host a YouTube booth just to answer questions. And I have people upload videos, and I like to kind of see what they're doing step by step, and people always talk about, optimizing your metadata and, improving search, but I guess nobody really talks too often about the devil in the details and how to get to all that. And you'd be surprised how many times I watch people upload videos and, they're just completely overlooking all this stuff. One of the first things you want to do is definitely use custom thumbnails. This used to be a feature specific to YouTube partners, but we've since opened it up more broadly to all creators in good standing, and I'll talk about account good standing a little later, and also having your channel verified. So you'll probably see sometimes you're asked to SMS verify your account. Super simple to do, takes 5 seconds. It just proves to us that you're not a robot or anything. But thumbnails are a really big part of your video, because as you're appearing in related search, or if you somehow end up on the home page because your video is trending, or if somebody else is featuring your video, you definitely want to have an attractive thumbnail, because that's the first thing people are going to see. They're not going to necessarily read the title immediately, but having a really good attractive thumbnail really attracts a lot of people to just click on your video and start watching. So if you don't have custom thumbnails, we provide you. Can you guys see my mouse? Kind of. All right. If you don't have custom thumbnails, you end up with 3 kind of default things from your video. And over here, I'm enabled for custom thumbnails. So, I uploaded a nicer picture of this fountain in Switzerland while I was there a few months ago. Second thing you really want to do immediately as soon as you upload your video is make sure you actually get that metadata in. So not just your title. A title is really the only piece of information that we require about your video when you upload it. If you try to save a video without a title, it's not going to work. But we don't force you to, have a description or have tags. And description of your video is not just for your audience, but every single word that you enter there is going to help people discover your video. And I'll talk about how you can track how people discover your videos later, but it's important to try to fill that with as much relevant information as possible. I guess I didn't really do a good job here, but it's just a really quick video I took. Also tags, and one cool thing that we've done with tags recently is as soon as you start to type a word there at the bottom over here where there are tags, we actually start to suggest stuff. So like, you know, I started typing Switzerland in here. As soon as I typed SWI, it came up with a whole list of like auto-generated words for me to put there. Switzerland as a country, Swiss people. So I just kept kind of typing SWI and pressing enter and just making sure all those tags auto-populated for me, so I didn't have to go type everything or put in commas. So we've made it pretty easy. And as soon as you type in a few tags, we actually start to suggest other tags that you should be using. So when I typed in, like I said, when I typed in Switzerland as a country, it also said, all these other little bubbles started to pop up, and it asked me, like, do you want to include Swiss people? Do you want to include Swiss government, Swiss politics? So it's something that we've released within the past year, which has really helped people a ton. One other thing you could do, like, how many of you speak multiple languages, if anyone? So, okay, awesome. Kind of over here. So, you know, the majority of viewers on YouTube come from other countries. So one thing like I always do with my videos is I start to type the description the description or the tags, especially the tags in other languages. So like over here, you know, I just didn't have Switzerland. I made sure to write Switzerland, type Switzerland in Italian and French and German because, you know, Switzerland's a pretty, you know, multilingual country. There's probably a lot of people wanting to see videos from around all Switzerland. So that's something to always keep in mind. Try to think everything in a more global perspective. And enough about metadata, I guess. So another thing you want to do as soon as you upload your video is go to your advanced settings. This is kind of something that everyone always kind of overlooks. I like to call the advanced settings place the section where we stick everything we don't know where it should go. It's a lot of more, I guess, complicated stuff, not just, you know, enabling comments, voting, embedding, but also things like Creative Commons if you'd like to be able to share your video so other people can use it. You can also put the location of your video. So there's a ton of different settings there you should kind of go play around with. If you want to like age restrict your video because you have adult language, you know, in your video, that'd be a really excellent thing to do. I think a lot of parents would agree. So I think as far as uploading, that's kind of the really, really important stuff you need to be getting to immediately. You don't want to go back to your uploads, you know, a few months later and do all this, but we have made it easier for creators to, you know, go back to 100 videos and update them really easily. So I'll be touching on how to do a lot of that stuff a lot easier so you're not going into each of your videos one by one. You also notice when you upload a video or when you're editing any individual video, by default you're thrown to this like info and settings page over here, which I've been talking about. Oh yeah, and if you're a partner, definitely, you know, enable monetization on your video too, and you can add that by default. So some other things you'll notice when you're uploading a video, we have a lot of other individual videos, not settings, but sort of pages or creator tools for you. So we have enhancements, which I'll talk about in a bit. We have audio, in case you'd like to add any audio to your video, annotations, and captions. So I'm going to talk about each of these for sure, because a lot of people really just overlook these. So whenever I do one of these talks and mention these, you know, everyone kind of walks away with something new, which is awesome. So next, I'll quickly run through how many of you use a lot of like video editing software, and then you upload a video and then you realize, there's that one tiny thing I forgot to do. Yes, yeah, it happens to all of us. So we actually have a cloud-based editor that's completely free for creators, where you can do everything from swap the audio in case you'd like to use some music that's royalty-free provided by YouTube. How many of you heard of the audio library launch recently? Yeah, so traditionally, like our audio swap tool, it swaps in music, but then like you get ads on it because it's music that third parties have provided for you to use freely in your video. but we launched the actual like free audio library recently, and so we have dozens and dozens and dozens of tracks, maybe 100, don't quote me, tracks that are actually available for you to download and do whatever you'd like. And they don't get caught by Content ID, you don't get claims, you don't get ads. You can actually use that music however you'd like on YouTube or off YouTube, and you can monetize it and make money. If you're interested in submitting any music to share with others on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/audio library and submit music that you've created and want to share with others. But other things in our cloud editor that aren't related to audio. So we have a lot of ways to really tweak your video easily. So everything from putting your video in slow motion to stabilizing it if it's kind of shaky. So how many of you upload non-gaming content stuff too? I've always done both, so I have 2 separate channels for that. So if you want to make something, really funny in slow motion, somebody falling down, those are always my favorite slow motion videos. There's also stabilization if you've been running around taking videos and everything's kind of shaky. Also visual tuning if you want to change stuff and be really artsy, like put stuff in black and white or make things cartoony. You'll see over here. There are all those visual tuning options. Stuff and like rotation, that's another really basic action you can take in case you want to rotate a video for whatever reason. 2 things that we've launched in the past year I really want to highlight, but we also have like a new YouTube video editor that you can combine clips. So you have multiple videos that you want to like cut stuff out of or copy paste and make a whole montage of all your favorite videos. You can actually do that in the YouTube video editor now. Same thing with audio. So this launched earlier this year, so you'll notice in the audio editor, at the bottom it'll say, try the new YouTube video editor. Definitely give that a shot. For those of you, maybe taking videos at the conference today, if you want to, blur out everybody's face, if you're concerned about privacy, we have face blur ability now. So there's a lot of little neat tweaks you can do with your video super easily online, and you can either save it as a new copy or make it copy over your existing version if you don't feel comfortable or kind of just want to test waters. Definitely give it a try. Other things you might want to do like immediately after uploading. How many of you use annotations? So annotations are getting pretty popular. How many of you signed up for in-video programming? Not enough of you. Oh man. All right, so I'm glad I'm going to talk about this. So annotations, traditionally you can really add just a lot of extra text to your video in the form of speech bubbles or notes. If you want to spotlight something with kind of like a frame. And recently one thing that the annotations team has been working on is in-video programming. So for those of you who did raise your hands, it's awesome that people have signed up for this. But one of the neat things that in-video programming lets you do is if you want to highlight a different video, like in an annotation, I should have taken a picture of this. If you want to kind of feature a video at the end of one, it'll kind of start playing in a little bubble. So if you haven't signed up for in-video programming, you can go to youtube.com/account_features. And I'll talk about this in the feature tracking section. But definitely sign up for in-video programming, make sure your account's in good standing. I guess since only a few of you have tried in-video programming, but how many, can you guys raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about though? Okay, awesome. One feature that kind of gets confused with annotations a lot is captions or subtitles. How many of you have used captions? All right, cool. So like I mentioned earlier, the majority of viewers coming to YouTube, they're outside of the US, they don't speak English. And captions is a really awesome way to reach out to people who don't speak English, or the other way around. If you're a popular user in France and you want to reach out to your English audience, you can have captions in any language. The difference between captions and subtitles is what we call captions when they're in another language, so that's some confusion. It also helps for viewers who are deaf or hard of hearing. So you'll usually notice captions on a lot of like television programming. If it's had captions on television, it has to have captions on YouTube. And neat fun fact, anything you put in your captions, if you put your entire script into captions and display that, all those words actually count as your metadata, which is kind of like a neat thing that a lot of people don't realize. So captions aren't there just for your viewing pleasure. This is also a way for increasing search optimization. So you'll see here, I just took this video at a lake and I was yelling, "Turn off the music," but nobody could really hear me. So I've highlighted that caption. If you look over here at the annotation, it's a little speech bubble, and annotations are neat because you can kind of flip the colors and everything for the viewers. So let's quickly jump over channels. So channels, I think a lot of people talk about starting your own channel and everything, but some of the details actually around like creating a channel. By the way, how many of you like the new the one channel feature that came out this year? It's always a kind of a controversial question to ask people about the new channels layout. No, yes, oh man. All right, I think my personal favorite, I highlighted like my favorite things about the new channel layout here. My favorite is like the new channel art. So as more consumption comes from mobile and from TV and from other devices, we really wanted to make sure that the experience of viewing your channel is the same across desktop, mobile, or whatever. So when you upload a piece of channel art over here, this will actually be adjusted for your mobile device or for television. And you'll be able to see that when you upload the image, and you can tweak the sizes. My second favorite thing about the new channels layout, which is super important, but channel trailer. I don't have one yet. Well, I added one and I took it away. But channel trailer is really great. So the point of a channel trailer is if you're an unsubscribed viewer and you're going to somebody's channel, rather than kind of going around and clicking on all this random stuff, now what we've created is a specific video that you can highlight for users that are logged in, and we can detect that they're unsubscribed or not subscribed. So if you haven't made your own channel trailer, definitely go ahead and do that. It should be your own video, so if it's got some sort of like third-party claim from somebody else, we'll let you know right away that you're not supposed to do that. Other neat feature that we've added to channels is sections. So if you want to add a section of playlists or a section for most recent videos, and you can rearrange those, you can make them vertical. So we've added really a ton of customizability to channels. Previously, also, the old channel art, this was something specific for partners. So we've opened that up so that it's available to more folks. And kind of moving on a bit, managing content at scale. So, I think a lot of people have complained a lot in the past that, once you have hundreds and thousands of videos, it's so tough to go in and edit stuff. Traditionally, we've kind of limited our huge content management things to bigger partners who might have access to CMS. I don't know, raise your hands, how many of you have heard of that? Some of you guys. Okay, so a lot of those features that we've had in CMS, we've actually been working throughout the entire year. This is one of my bigger projects. We've been working the entire year to get all those features out of CMS and to move them to youtube.com and to make them more available to a ton of users. So here I've highlighted some of the stuff that we've been working on since January. These are just like a few tiny things, but first I wanted to highlight like advanced search operators. For those, how many of you have like hundreds or thousands of videos versus like a few dozen? Yeah, so there are a few of you. So we're trying to look out for you big busy users too. So search operators is one of the really neat things. So if you wanted to specify that you only want to view videos in a certain time frame in your video manager, you're able to do that with an advanced search operator. If you also just wanted to highlight stuff that is just private, there's like maybe 24 different search operators you can use to get a view of very specific content rather than the traditional view where it's just, sort all my videos by most popular or by most recent. So, here's one example. I wanted all videos that were uploaded before my birthday this year or all private videos. Why did I want to do that? Mostly just to show you how to do this. But if I wanted to select, all these videos, with these specific search parameters, so I would be able to update it with these bulk actions that cover everything from metadata to settings to monetization, Creative Commons, embedding, kind of anything you can think of that you can do on an individual video basis, you can now do it across all of your videos at the same time. If you want to update like 6 different things at the same time, it might take a few seconds longer because we're busy updating all those settings on those videos. But if you take a look over here, so I wanted to update all my video category, all the videos that I've selected. I wanted all their categories to be travel and events. I wanted to update tags. So over here, I've highlighted I wanted to remove lolcats as a tags to any video. If I wanted to, do the opposite, add a certain tag to every single video. If I have a new name I'm going by, super easy to add to my tags. And you'll notice every few months there are new bulk actions coming over here. One other thing we've added is really quick metrics on your videos and the status. So you see over here, this indicates that this video is public. Everybody can see it. If it were private, there'd be a lock on it. The checkbox, meaning that it's been sent to my subscribers. And finally, a green $sign indicating that this video is enabled for monetization. So there are a lot of different statuses that you'll see over there. If you're actually on the video manager page, you're actually able to check really quickly by hovering over the icon to see exactly what that means. Recently, we did a bunch of change with icons. How many of you before, those of you that are partners anyways, how many of you before had like a green C button? Yeah, it was confusing, right? Kind of, yeah. So we've actually just changed it so that everybody's icons are $signs. If you're doing stuff besides monetizing your videos, like just tracking for analytics or blocking the content, how many of you do stuff besides monetize as far as policy management? All right, not too many of you. That's cool. So, oh yeah, like really quick metrics. If you just wanted to take a look at your views, the thumbs up you have, how many comments those have, you no longer have to click through every individual video and go to the watch page. So some really, really tiny little details that we've done to just make managing all your content at scale a lot easier. And if you're not there yet with hundreds or thousands of videos, you can sleep well at night knowing that when you get there, it'll be so easy to kind of retroactively go update a bunch of stuff. Next, understanding performance. So one of the big things my team works on is rev share calculation and reporting. I didn't want to put my financial numbers for my videos here, so one of the things I've highlighted here is watch time. So how many of you use YouTube Analytics? Okay, awesome, the majority of you. That makes me very happy. So there's a ton of little details you can track in your videos. So everything from views and watch time. You'll notice that this year we've been trying to you've probably heard the word watch time a lot more rather than views. How many of you have heard watch time more? Yeah, so rather than measuring your success on how many views you have, measuring it by like how many minutes of your video are people actually watching. So this is an important metric that you'll be hearing a lot more about and as a result, you're able to track a lot of these metrics a lot easier in YouTube Analytics. Other things, demographics, traffic sources. I think traffic sources is probably one of my favorite features just because I'm able to see how are people finding my content. So if you look over here, I've kind of highlighted for, I think this was just like one random video, but I wanted to see what the traffic source was for my video. Since I don't post too often anymore, every time I do kind of get a lot of views, I'm kind of curious, like, whoa, how did people find this? So, over here, I'm able to click on YouTube search and actually see that, people search X, Y, and Z to find my video. So it's always like a really exciting thing for me to realize, or when I see that, I have a lot of traffic coming from Reddit or something that makes me super excited. You're also able to break down your traffic sources, of course, by whether somebody's viewing your video on a mobile device or whether it's on desktop, whether it came from a link from a friend, whether it was highlighted on your channel. Over here, you'll see, the #1 way people are getting to this video is through YouTube search, then suggested videos. So, super important. My metadata, is working if that's my second biggest traffic source. Unknown and direct, I kind of just sent people links to my video. an external website where it might be hosted or the YouTube channel page. So like I mentioned before, you can highlight like a video trailer on your channel, and you're actually able to track over here in YouTube Analytics to see, was this a really good video to choose, depending on the amount of traffic you're getting from your channel page. Other fun stuff, so estimated earnings is another thing. How many of you kind of like obsessively track how much money you're making every day? Yeah, all right, some of you. All right, yeah. So that's definitely one really important thing to track every day if you're curious. Just remember that it's estimated earnings. What you're gonna see at the end of the month might be a little different. So sometimes people will kind of like freak out and worry, but just remember this is estimated earnings. Sometimes they can be slow, but we try to get everything to you guys as soon as possible, but it takes a while to calculate all that rev share that you're making. Last big thing I kind of wanted to talk about that I get a ton of questions about is tracking feature access. So one of the projects that my team worked on, I don't know, maybe like a year and a half ago, is the feature access overview. How many of you have been here to this page? Awesome. So like I said, I used to be a partner manager, and I used to work with partners one-on-one, and like I think the #1 question I always got asked, whether it was an email I got or at VidCon or any other talk I did, is like, I can't tell if I'm enabled for X, Y, or Z, or how do I get access to this? So one thing we wanted to do is make that super transparent for everybody. So we created the feature overview access page where you can actually track like the majority of your features. Every few months you'll see something new popping up on here, but you're able to track to see what you're enabled for, what you could be enabled for, what you're not eligible for, and what you've had disabled because maybe you got a copyright strike or something. So you'll see over here at the top, you can track things like your community guideline status. Community guidelines, so if you upload something like super inappropriate and it's taken off the site, you get a strike for that and it expires after X amount of time. Copyright strikes, so if somebody files a DMCA against you, you can track that easily over here. Also constant ID claims, if it's a global block, so that's kind of like one misconception people have, that all content ID claims you have are gonna completely ruin you. It's really only when you get a content ID claim and it's blocked globally, so you'll be able to tell that in your video manager and it'll be flagged over here. But if you do something like you go to audio swap and YouTube's giving you third-party music to use, that's fine. So there's, I'm all in good standing, awesome. But you'll see over here, I'm enabled for monetization, longer videos, and external annotations, custom thumbnails, and we usually have a description of what that means, or we go link you to where there's actually more in-depth information, or to the help center. You'll see over here, like one thing I'm not eligible for is paid subscriptions. How many of you heard of like the paid subscriptions / paid channels launch? Awesome, cool, yeah, that was one of the big things that was keeping me up very late the past few months. You'll see I'm not eligible for that. It tells me, I need 10,000 existing subscribers. How many of you have more than 10,000 subscribers, by the way? Awesome. Oh, that's amazing. So, we're always adding new different features over here so you can, track stuff a lot easier. Because we know like email isn't necessarily the best way to communicate with everyone. You probably get a ton of email about a ton of things, so we really just wanted to aggregate everything on one page so that there aren't any outstanding questions or anything like that. So if you haven't checked out this page, definitely go check it out today to see what else you could be enabling for free on YouTube to help you create a lot more content. And one other thing I want to talk about, not related to kind of creator tools and stuff, but we also have a whole creator hub on YouTube. How many of you have been here? Oh man, what about the rest of you? You all need to go there, youtube.com/creators. This highlights a ton of other stuff we're doing, so definitely go take a look. Looks like I'm running out of time, so I'll open it up to Q&A. I think I have until 2, right? Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. All right, cool. What's
About
up?
at what point does monetization become available for people making videos?
Oh.
About at what point does monetization become available for people making videos?
So we're launched for monetization in I think over 20 different countries. If you actually go to your account features page, it'll tell you whether you're eligible or not. The biggest criteria you need to open up your account for monetization is you need to have your account in good standing. So that's kind of like the biggest requirement that we have.
Would you ever consider adding all these features that you just mentioned to the mobile version?
Yeah, so mobile is definitely something that we've been thinking about a lot. So yeah, I'm with you.
What is your opinion on people who dump content that was not made by them on YouTube?
So if you're uploading content that isn't made by you, you should either have express permission, or if that original copywriter files a complaint, you can get in a lot of trouble.
I've seen some get away with it.
Well, the way that the copyright law works is that when YouTube receives a notification from the copyright holder, we're asked to act immediately. So if you are uploading content that you didn't make and somebody reports us to us, and they go through the legal process, then it comes down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the difference between monetization and partnering?
Good question. So this is one of the things that I worked on last year. So partnership used to mean monetization and all these awesome features available for users in specific countries. And what we've been doing over the past year is trying to make partnership more about monetization rather than features. So all these different features that I talked about, we've actually opened them up in all countries, regardless of whether we have monetization available there or not. So long story short, we're trying to make partnership equal monetization. So does that make sense?
Yeah, and one more question.
Okay.
If I click the monetization button on my video, how does that, does it send money to me, or what happens exactly?
So when you enable monetization on a video, you're able to specify what sort of monetization you'd like. So you can say, I want these specific ad formats, or I want to enable this video for rent. And as soon as you save those settings, video goes into review, whatever policy you specified is applied to that video. And then over time, over the entire month, those earnings accrue, and then we kind of have this whole month close effort to calculate all the revenue that you made in the past month. And if you meet AdSense's threshold, because AdSense will be paying you, AdSense will pay you out that amount specified by us.
Hi, thanks for coming out.
Yep.
Is there a quick and easy app, the YouTube app version, maybe a different version that lets you send and receive private messages? Because
no.
the YouTube app doesn't let you do that I've
seen. No, we don't have private messaging.
Okay. And is there
Maybe
a quick and easy way to combine two videos together that got split up accidentally?
Yeah, totally. You can use the video editor for that. So
it does work now?
Yeah, we launched that a few months ago.
Okay, I missed that. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
For myself, I use the annotations at the ends of videos to indicate other series I have going on.
Yep.
And the most difficult aspect is the fact that I have to go in and do those annotations on every single video. Are there any plans to make it so you can create an annotation template and then apply that template to videos?
I like that idea. Yeah, I will definitely talk to our annotation folks about that.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of very happy people when you've done so.
Yeah.
If you have an intro for your video,
Can you hold it closer?
If you have an intro for your video, is there any way to add that to every video you have already?
Yeah, you can do that with the video editor. As for retroactively applying that to every video, not yet. I would definitely bring that up for sure. But you can do one-offs, absolutely.
What if someone files a false copyright claim?
So if somebody files a false copyright claim, we have something called the counter notification process. So that's something enforced by U.S. law, and you list why that copyright claim was false, and we process it, and your video's back. And if the original claimant wants to argue with you and say it's not false, then you guys can go to court. But that's something you guys would have to sort out together.
What is YouTube doing with paid subscriptions?
So paid subscriptions, we wanted to create a new way to get more content onto the site by allowing people to create a paywall for their channel, whether that's to just offer the same exact content but ads free for a small fee. So it's not just about, you guys know paid subscription is not just about, making people pay to see your video, but you can also, set a small fee so that nobody sees any ads on your videos. We've been also, like, back in March, we were able to bring on like 50 different channels that didn't really have content on YouTube before because they wanted to like charge a fee. So it's really just about making your videos and business as flexible as possible.
Agreeing with the man in the black hat on the template, I was wondering if there would be something so at the end it would, like for the template, it would randomize which videos went up there. So at the end of every video, it wouldn't be the same exact videos.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, thank you.
Okay, so this has to do with finding your videos. So say I upload a video, but since there's so many videos with higher views, you never find that video that has like 2 views, and even if it has 2 views, no one wants to watch a low view channel. So like, how does featuring affect how I can get up to a high amount of views without just staying in the low area?
One thing that a lot of people do within video programming is that if they have like one video that like really did well, completely went off into millions of views, they can use in video programming to highlight videos that aren't doing so well. Other things people do is create series playlists. How many of you have heard of series playlists? Yeah, so it's kind of like an official playlist you can make so that when people are watching your video on the watch page, rather than seeing a bunch of random related video, not random related, but other people's related videos, it'll just be the list that you specify. So you remember like when I was showing YouTube analytics for that one video, like my number 2 traffic source was related videos.
Thank you.
Yep.
Would there ever be the possibility in the future of choosing if you want to use the YouTube 1 template or the last one? Because some people are having mixed feelings about that.
Sorry, what was the question?
The question is like, would it ever become the possibility of having the YouTube 1 template for your channel or having the the last one that we had?
We kind of really want everyone to opt into the new one.
All right. Okay.
What is there something specific you like about the older one? Well, if you can think of something, let me know.
Okay.
I read an article on Google Plus that says content creators can no longer be verified on YouTube, and it's only reserved for businesses. Why is that?
No, I think maybe there's some confusion about that. When I was talking about being YouTube verified, it was that's when like you SMS verify your account so that we know you're not a robot. But Google Plus verification's something else, where it's kind of like you get a check mark next to your. But that'll be kind of combining with that, or I think what you're saying is that's combining with YouTube.
No, I read that like a content creator can't get verified, like get the check mark, but it's only reserved for businesses now.
On Google Plus.
On Google Plus for your YouTube channel.
I don't work on
for
Google
your YouTube
Plus,
channel though. I figured you might not work on that, so just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you show me the article, if I have more context, that'd be awesome.
When are there going to be annotations on mobile?
Yes, good question. I will definitely talk to the team about that, but we've been trying to open up more and more stuff on mobile. So like the YouTube 1 channel thing, before, you kind of never really had the flexibility of creating a custom channel on mobile devices. So we recognize, everyone's on mobile, and stay tuned.
Can I link my YouTube channel to my Google Plus profile, not page?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, thanks.
I've done that, so.
If I make like a video, say of Minecraft, can like the people of Minecraft say do something like, say file something against me if I am using just Minecraft? Is it possible?
So the use of gaming content on YouTube depends on what the publisher says. So like if you go to the Minecraft website, it says, go ahead and do whatever you want with our content on YouTube. So, they would have to follow their own policy. I don't work for the company.
Okay, just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Hi. I've got a weekly radio show on Blog Talk Radio, and I'm thinking about disabling that and switching over and taking my show video and doing it on YouTube. I understand now Google Plus has where you can create content through the Google Hangouts, I think, and link it to your YouTube account and do video that way. So essentially, I could move that radio to there and just have my followers move over to following the YouTube channel. Is that correct?
Right. We've also opened up live streaming up to everybody with there's a certain threshold.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 100 subscribers since VidCon.
Okay. That's what I was interested. Thank you.
For those just starting out with YouTube, what is the best way to get your content out there to make sure other people find it? You might post something like Minecon last night, an interview you did, and you'll look at the next morning and you've just got a handful of views. So what would be, that's unique, but you don't really see it when the searches.
Yeah, one of the things I like to do is really focus on metadata and also social media. So, how many of you are Redditors? Yes, awesome. So one thing I do is I go see, what's trending on Reddit today, because everyone's gonna wanna kind of milk that. So I think just being really in tune with internet culture is a really big piece of it. Regardless of, I just started my first YouTube channel. You need to follow what's popular and try to milk it if you don't know anything else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I share a YouTube channel with my friend, and it whenever I try to upload videos, it takes 1 to 2 days, and it ends up sometimes not uploading or taking that long.
How long are these videos?
Not too long. One of them was just 5 minutes or so.
There might be something wrong with your internet connection. That shouldn't be taking 1 or 2 days. Every now and then, we do have some sort of outage. I think there was an outage a week ago that was affecting a subset of users. So we got a ton of tweets and got that fixed right away. But no, typically it shouldn't take 1 to 2 days to upload a 5-minute video.
Used to, but no, not these. Not too long. All right.
Yeah, also size.
2 quick questions. Is this PDF available online anywhere?
No. Maybe I will post it online, though.
Please and thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's way better than my presentation. These were all just my videos and stuff.
Yeah. And the other question is there a way to opt out of your A/B testing on YouTube? I was one of those lucky users that just tested out the new YouTube interface that popped up for a little bit that really just made it difficult for me to use my subscribers on the left. Don't go with it. But
is there a way to opt out?
Yeah, that I don't get randomly selected on my ISP, that I'm the lucky one on the B or the A.
Yeah, you must be really, really, really lucky. But, if we do have something big going on, usually you're able to opt out, and that we just kind of...
I just went in and deleted the cookie. That's how I opt out.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to know if that was possible.
All
I
right.
could just
Yeah, not for everything.
Oh, okay.
So this one isn't much of a question, but it's more of a bug that I found.
Okay.
You noted that you needed 100 subscribers to link your Google Plus Hangouts and live stream it to your channel.
No, 100 subscribers for YouTube live streaming.
Well, I managed to do it with only 30.
We were able to do it with 30?
Yes.
No, that's the live streaming that Google Plus gives out.
Oh.
Yeah. They're 2 different systems.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no bug.
Hey, quick question about songwriting.
Sure.
Do you guys report to ASCAP BMI, or how does that work with songwriters? The radio has to report to ASCAP BMI for how many times
we
their
have a whole
song's played.
business development team dedicated to working with music collecting societies and labels and everything like that. So, yeah, music's definitely a really big important
How would I
thing.
find out about?
How would you find
The
out
team.
about the team? If you go to like any YouTube music event, the whole music business development team will be there. You can tell them I sent you. Cool. Well, thank you everybody for coming. Appreciate it. And I'll be around outside if you have any other questions.